Okay, so I'm getting ready to wash the car, and I just want to let everybody know it's been waxed, and you can see how well it beads up on the hood. I've taken really good care of this car, and once I wash it, I'll give you all a big tour of it, okay? Up the car, there it is, 134,590 miles on it. Starts right up. Now, as mentioned in the description, there is a little thing with the, sorry, close that. There is something with the clutch in neutral. So if I take out the clutch, listen real careful. You can hear that. Someone's told me it's a bearing or something. I had a BMW guy look at it. He said, just let it, just drive it. It doesn't affect my shifting. It doesn't, it's smooth. It shifts very smooth. Doesn't really affect anything with the car. Except you have that noise when you put the car in neutral. The car has been, when I bought the car, I had the air conditioning kit put in because it is Atlanta, and it works great, blows super cold refrigerant. So again, the convertible top is down, is closed. So I want you to kind of listen again here. So that's with the clutch in. Okay, now I'm gonna release the clutch and listen for that noise. I'm not gonna fix that. It comes with the car. Like I said, I've owned the car for 5 years. It's done that. It hasn't gotten any worse, and it doesn't affect my shifting or anything. And I'll show you the driving video. You can look for a driving video in a little bit here. This is my E30 Mtech II 1991. I'm going to give you a tour of the outside. I'm going to talk about everything that's wrong with it. And I know some of you car guys are like me. You're a little OCD sometimes. So I'm going to go over this car every square inch. I just cleaned it. Did not treat the tires. Sorry about that. We'll go over every square inch. I'll show you how it works. Sorry, this trunk needs to be closed. There we go. All right, let's talk about the car. I bought it. It's been in California almost its whole life. I have a Google Doc and a folder full of records for it. And the game plan with the car was I bought about 5 years ago. I was looking for an Mtech E30. I've loved this car. It's got about 134,000 miles on it. And let's take a tour, okay? I'm just gonna go over everything I see on the car. I believe that the metal pieces are original paint. I can't swear to that. I'm sure the plastics have been repainted at some point. They're just super clean, and sometimes plastics, 27 years later, they just don't stay as nice. So I'll show you what I mean. All right, let's start with the flaws. On the front lip, this is probably about 5 inches off the ground, if that. And like a lot of the lower cars, you're gonna see some areas down here that need some paint. All right. Every time, it actually was painted when I bought it, and about 3 or 4 drives in, as careful as you are, it's almost impossible to be super careful. The plastics are in really good shape. Sorry, there's a few water drops on here from me washing the car. You can kind of see how good shape the plastic is. Again, there's some water in there. You can get it dry all the way. There are a couple of, on the front bumper, a couple of paint touch-ups from previous owners. Those are about the size of this one here on the left is about the size of a nickel. Okay, here's the hood. I'm gonna just go slowly along the hood. This car's been driven, guys, so it is a driver's car. I like driving it. I drive it about 1,000 miles a year. So you're gonna see some of these kind of stone flecks that you'll see on every car that's been driven. Just a few little chips here and there. There's a couple right there if you can see them. There's one right there and another one here. So a few of those every so often. The plastic here, really great shape. Dark, like it's supposed to, looks new. Mirrors, again, what makes me believe that this actually may be original paint on this mirror. It's a little darker, and it matches the paint back here. In terms of tone, I believe that to be original paint as well. I'm sorry, my neighbor needed me. Anyway, what I was saying about the paint timbre or tone, this plastic piece here looks very similar to the color of this. Now, what makes me think the plastics have been painted? Well, down here, that Mtech label looks really new, right? So, the colors, while they are, you know, looking at it, they look like they match, and I'm sure they are the same BMW color code. When you look at it in the direct sunlight, you know, this looks a little bit different red than this one. It's not crazy obvious. I'm just telling you that the plastics have been repainted. And a 27-year-old car, it would be really hard for me to believe that the plastics were this clean. Okay, and again, you know, that Mtech logo right there, is it possible that's new? Yeah, but probably not. Okay, now, I'm really picky about my cars. These are the original wheels. This is the front left. And I like keeping things clean. As you can tell, I'll try to get underneath the car as well. Door handle, again, you can tell a lot by looking at the door handles and stuff. All right, got a little bit of water in here. This is the interior door panel. It does have the correct VIN number on the door. And we'll talk about the interior in a little bit. There's the Mtech that appears to be original. And then, of course, all the stickers coming up the door panel. Jeez, I thought I tried this. Guess I didn't. All right, and then going to the back. This is the back left, or driver's side rear. Again, it's original, I believe. It's got, you know, the normal kind of aluminum pitting there. I thought about having them redone, but they're still pretty good. I mean, and I like it being original, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. You know, there's the reflector on the side. Let's talk about there. I don't know if you can see them here. They're buffed out. Never mind. Just must be wax or something. Okay. All right. So the power antenna still works, and the power top still works. I'll give you a sample of that in a minute. Here are the here's the lenses in the back. I'm pretty sure that roundel is new. This is the third brake light. There is just a small super hairline crack right there. I mean, I can't even, it doesn't move when I press on it. It's just over time, I'm sure the sun has cracked it, and right there. It does have a BMW logo on it right there. I believe that this is the original Mtechnic badge on the hood. I mean, on the trunk lid. And there's another lens. Let's keep going around the car. There's, let's see. There's the left reflector, or I'm sorry, passenger side reflector. Open up. Now, all you guys who are retired and stuff that like these cars, I like to be pretty neat about the gas tank compartment. I haven't gotten in there with a Q-tip though, so I still have a regular job, so it's hard to get in there and detail like I like to. This is the wheel on the driver's side. I'm sorry, passenger side. And let's see if I can get in here on the wheel well at all. There's the wheel well on that side, and see if you get any kind of good exposure there. Again, the plastics on this side, we're on the shady side now. You know, they're in great shape. There are a couple of little rock chips. There's one there that's about the size of a half of my fingernail, thumbnail there in terms of width. That one's new. Here's the Mtechnic label on this side. Now that one has aged differently than the other side. Is it possible that that's the original? It is possible. Or maybe it just sat in the sun longer, who knows? There's the mirror. Here's the passenger side wheel. Again, normal pitting on this. And you can see inside the wheel well how clean it is. Coming around to the front, there's the reflector. And we're back to the front of the car. Okay, let's talk about the top. I believe we've got the original windshield. It's got the BMW sticker in there, which is awesome. That's unusual. Don't know if you can see it, but there, yep, there it is. There's the serial number. And I'm gonna pop the hood here. We do have, like I said, on the, oh, this is the driver's side. We talked about this one. Let me go over and open the other driver's side for you. And you can see how clean the door frame is on that one. Okay, there, let's see, there you go. Again, I like to keep my stuff in really good shape. Now what I will tell you is the Carfax shows that there are no accidents, but I don't see, and I don't know where the VIN stickers are on these cars. There, it's not here. And let me open up the trunk. So down here, I don't see a VIN sticker. Let's go around the trunk for you here. And I don't see one over here in this little gap. And I don't see anything kind of back in here. Now I've been told on standard E30s that don't have this extra piece of plastic here that there might be a VIN number underneath there. I'm not willing to pry those 27-year-old pieces apart to see if there's a VIN tag underneath there. But just know this, it's possible that this hood could have been repainted at one point. There's the toolkit. I'm not 100% sure if the toolkit comes with that. My guess is it should, and it looks like there's a slot over here that it's missing something, but everything else is there. The Allen wrench, and it appears to have never been used. Sorry about the trunk being dirty. I gotta pull all that stuff out of there. Okay. It does have a hard top. It's down in my basement. I'll run through that a little bit later. That roundel is probably new, I would imagine. There was, at one point, there should have been an Mtechnic badge there. It's missing on a lot of the Mtechnics, and from BMW, I believe it's no longer available. Let's see, what else can I tell you about the exterior? It's not a perfect car. It's a really amazing looking car, however. Let me pop the hood. Okay. I tried to keep the engine bay pretty clean. As clean as I can. Sorry, I forgot to dry this. Normally I'll run a towel down through there, but I was in a hurry. So here's the engine. The front two quarters, they do match the VIN sticker, so there's one right there. It does match. There's the color. And let's go to the other side. There's one right there. The battery, I believe, is newer. I think I replaced it when I bought the car. And then you can see through here. In terms of drips and drops and stuff like that, it barely leaks. It sits in my garage, and you know, I mean, it's a 27-year-old BMW, right? It's gonna have a little bit of seepage and leaks, but there's nothing I ever have to wipe up off the floor. I mean, if I'm gonna guess, it'll leak 6, 7, 8, 10 drops of oil once in a while. But I mean, again, nothing that I'm concerned about at all. This is the hood. And just kind of give you the idea of the condition. A little dirty down there. And one of the cool things about the E30s, I love the way the hood opens. I just think it's awesome. Okay, once I'm gonna go ahead and clean up the interior, then I'll show you how the power top works. Let's just look at the top of the top. It's in really great condition. In fact, I don't wash it all the time, so, but it's great. I mean, still plenty of life left on it as long as you keep the car in your garage. No rips, no tears that I know of. you know, like any 27-year-old car, if you're driving the car in the rain, which has happened to me once or twice. I live in the south, so pop-up thunderstorms are common. It can be convertible weather one day, and then it can be something else in 15 minutes. So there, you know, once in a while you have a little bit of leak that comes down through here, but it's like drips. It's not major. Okay, I think I've given you everything I know about the outside of the car. I'm gonna start it up here and let you hear the engine. There's a good look at it right there. All right, what I think is one of the coolest things about this car is that the power top still works. So I'm gonna demonstrate that for you. I will also depress the clutch pedal again so you can hear the sound from that distance, and you'll also see that the power windows all work. Right? Yeah, that's one of the coolest features in the car, I think, is that still works. You have to use your hand to help it along a little bit, but piece of cake. Okay, let's talk about the interior of the car. The Mtechs, as many of you know, are fairly rare. They have some leather wrapped bits on them that I would like to go over. So this whole center console is wrapped in leather versus a standard E30. You wouldn't see that necessarily, okay? This little piece here just kind of sits in there. Sometimes it comes off. I just have it sitting there. So this center console is wrapped in leather. The like many BMWs, the sides of the bolsters of the seats, they're all wrapped in leather. This is not the original steering wheel. It was added as well as this vehicle was converted to a manual before I bought it by a guy out in California. I think I even know the guy who did it. It does have a Nakamichi CD system, excuse me, and it does have the air conditioning that I added. It works great. The power antenna works, and like I mentioned before, there are no cracks in the dash. This is a dirty windshield. It just needs to be cleaned, I think. Let's see. Inside, here's a view of the carpet. Sorry about the sun. It's not perfect, but it's fairly clean. Driver's side carpet. Sorry about the shadows again. And let's look at the back carpet. On the side here, the Mtechs were notorious for, you know, you have a real one when you have this fabric, this Evo fabric. It was only put in the Mtech II. And these bits are wrapped in leather. This is not leather, I don't believe. And then this map pocket is leather. Now, I've never, there's a connecting piece that goes here. I've never been able to identify it, so I haven't fixed that. It's fine on the other side. Okay, let's see what we got here in the back. Again, there's the carpeting in the back. Fairly clean, not perfect. I mean, it looks like at some point somebody spilled something back there, previous owner. And then on the other side, it's very similar. Okay, let's talk about the Evo fabric. So there's wear points in the car When I got it, it was fine, but over the years it just starts to wear. You can buy reproduction fabric. I think it's called bimmercloth.com. They have reproduction fabric that looks identical. So on the corner here, there's a little bit of wear. You can see the sponge kind of coming through there. On the tops where the sun has hit it before my ownership, you know, if people didn't keep it in a garage or whatever, it is starting to be faded on the top. And there's a little bit of wear here, and then there's a little bit of wear on there. That is about half the width of my thumb. And I believe things look good on the other side. The back is leather as well. This center stack here is leather. This is all leather, as well as the side bolsters. And I believe all of this wrapped side panel here is leather. And the reason I think that is if you look at some of the scratches right there, I mean, that looks like if you were to scratch leather, that's exactly what it was. And it exhibits, like, when it bends around things, it has leather tendencies, like skin would, right? Okay, so let's see here. This is fine on this side. There are just a few of these little kind of nicks from people getting in and out of their car over the years. This one's from a seat belt. This is the driver's side seat. The seat belt comes up over here. I have tried touching that up over the years with Sharpie or leather stain, and you know, it comes back. So, but it can be touched up. Okay, the driver's seat is probably the worst for the original fabric. You're getting some a little bit of wear here for sure, and then not a lot over here on this side, but a little bit. And then you can see some of the threading, like a sweater. It's just starting to wear. I like it because it's original, and most of it, I would say 90-95% of the fabric's in really excellent shape. But I wouldn't replace it if you like things to be original. Let's take a peek at the passenger side. Here's the driver's side. Kind of carpet through here. I do have floor mats. They're not original to the car, but they are floor mats. This side over here is the driver's side door. You see how I showed you the other side that I couldn't find the piece for, but maybe a good body man or car guy can figure that out for you. What else do I need to talk about on the interior? I guess that's it. Let me look at the driver's side fabric so you can kind of get an idea on that. Again, this is in pretty good shape. Obviously, passenger seat, not a lot of traffic on it. I don't see anywhere on here as much. Maybe on these little corners, but again, that's just me being like super picky. Okay, I think that's everything on the interior of the car. The glove box is full of junk right now, but let me open it for you. It does open and close, and it does lock, and it does come with the original manual. Oh, and there's some Mtech stickers in there. Didn't even know that. So it does come with a few original things on the car, and then I have an E30 book repair manual, like a Chilton's or something, that I would include in the sale. Okay, there we go. All right, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out on this forum or wherever you see this listed, and I'll be happy to answer any questions. I will try to do a video. Oh, I'm going to do a driving video, and then we'll do I'll show you the hardtop as well. Take a picture down the line so you can kind of get the idea what's going on here with the car against the reflection in the concrete. There shouldn't be, there might be a couple of super small dents that I've had repaired with PDR. See what, I'll go this way, and then I'll go back up this way so you can kind of really get a good idea. when I first got the car, somebody gave me $300 because I gave them a business referral for painting their house. And anyway, there's the hood with some sun showing through the clouds, so you can see a reflection there. And I had about $300 worth of PDR done on the sides, just a couple little dents, and just thought it'd be worth the investment. So again, we'll just go down here so you can kind of see. I'm looking for stuff too as I go. Again, this isn't a perfect car, but you will find a cleaner one. I don't think, oh, there's a little, I don't know if you can see it. Right there by my finger, it's just a little scratch, super small. Okay, let's go back up this way. All right, and then let's look in the trunk, where I have to put a bunch of stuff back in it. All right, the trunk, it's got these hydraulic things. It doesn't like, sometimes when it's cold, it seems to want to stay up by itself. When it's not cold, it doesn't. There's the jack down there, and I just discovered this myself. I haven't gotten in here before, but there, it appears to be the original spare tire. Pirelli P600, and that is a mint condition wheel. Now I've been told that there might be a VIN number in here somewhere, but in this book, the service manual that goes with it, there's a section here, I think on page 18, that says where the VIN numbers are located. I'm going to kind of point that out to you here. I'm going to take a picture of this as well, but you know, it says here the overall parts installed during manufacture, let me see if I can get that, are identified and a label bearing the VIN and 2 BMW Roundel logos. Replacement parts will have a similar label bearing 1 Roundel logo and the letter DOT-R. Parts or assemblies bearing the label are the engine, transmission, front and rear bumpers, front fenders, which I've showed in that video where those are, the rear quarter panels, hood, trunk lid, and doors. And we've talked about the rear quarters. Again, I can't find them. It's possible that this rear quarter has been repainted. It doesn't say where on the rear quarter, but I would assume it would be at a very similar spot as the ones up in the front, kind of in this channel here. And like I mentioned before, on the hood deck lid, I've read in certain places, again, I don't know how valid they are, where that VIN number might be underneath this piece of plastic. That wouldn't make sense for BMW. I don't think they would do that. So it's possible that this lid, trunk lid, has been painted as well. So again, you know, I have history on the car. I don't have all the history on the car. But that said, if it has been repainted, it looks fantastic. If you have any questions, let me know. All right, I'm just gonna hold the camera. It's vibrating on the dash. Not advisable to drive a stick shift and shift at the same time. Or film at the same time. That's third gear. Fourth gear. Everything's smooth on the gearbox. I mean, it shifts really smooth. I don't have to work to get it in any gear. It does have Bilstein shocks on it, which causes it to corner. I think that's what lowered it as well. I mean, it's got a lot of extra stuff on it that previous owners have put on it. It's high quality. what I'll do is I'll put the top up and do the same drive here. I've got the top up, and you probably hear in the air conditioner, it's on and it's working. So top is up. Should be able to hear more of the shifting of the engine. I typically shift between 2 and 2,500, but the car actually has a lot of fun between 3 and 4. Feels like that's kind of where it pulls best. You know, it is the old inline 6 BMW engine. They're bulletproof, but you know, from 1991 it was great. But as of today, it's not a sports machine. But that's not why you'd buy this car anyway. All right, here we go. First gear. Sorry, those are motorcycles. That's fourth gear, about 46 miles an hour. Fifth again, but I mean, it's like butter on the gearbox. It's super easy to get things in. Never had anything grind on me. It's just always shifted really smooth. I did joke with the BMW mechanic one time. I said, if this engine wears out, I'll replace it with an E46 M3 engine. He said, well, you'll drive that forever before it wears out. You'll die before it does. All the turn signals work. Brake lights all work. I mean, it's silly stuff, I know, but people always ask, so might as well say it in the video. Alright, so these are the folder full of receipts I have. I mean, there's tons of them. I did take all this information and put it on a Google Doc, so you can go in a spreadsheet and just kind of see what we have. I mean, I've got copies of old titles that show ownership. It is not a complete history by any means. There are gaps, as you can see in the spreadsheet. That said, I mean, there's a lot of records here. Everything you see in this folder is notated if it's a repair of any type, in the repair records that I have copies of. So, you know, I mean, there's a lot of stuff in here. Anyway, this comes with the car, of course, and I think it's valuable information. Again, look at the Google Doc and make sure that that's in the link below. Make sure that that you notice there are gaps in what I have here, but there is a lot of history here. Okay.